What's up, YouTube? This is Vultures85 here. Finally, at long last, I am doing the deck profile for the upgraded Evolsaur deck. This is post-Galactic Overlord with all the support needed and all that kind of bullshit. And there's some cards that are teched in. Of course, you can probably see a couple of them right here. We'll get to those when we get through the count and tell you why I'm teching in these cards to do with this deck. So, without further ado, let's get into the count. So, we have 3 Cerato, that is pretty much standard for the deck. 2 Darwino. Darwino is an absolutely amazing monster. A lot of people aren't a fan of it, but this guy absolutely works wonders. So, what this card single-handedly does is allow the Evolsaur deck to pretty much become the most exceed versatile deck in the entire meta. So what you're doing with the addition of one monster to the deck, or 2 copies of the same monster, is you're given a deck that could make rank 3 and rank 4s. With Darwino's effect, you can now make rank 5, rank 6s, and rank 7s just with this one monster's ability. So, like, this guy adds so much ground to the deck and allows for more versatile plays, and he's a really good monster to lead off with. Like, one of the best combos in the entire deck is first turn Najasho play off of Evo-Force, especially summon 2 of these guys and make Evolsaur Solda, which when we get to him in the extra deck, I'll talk about him a little bit more. So, 2 Diplo for spell and trap back row hate. 2 Vulcano to make those big combo plays so that you can make Laggia and Dolkka. 3 Westlos, still one of the most important cards in the entire deck. Pretty much like what I've noticed, that you set a monster down, and if they know you're playing Evolsaurs, your opponent automatically knows it's Westlo. And if they don't have an answer for it, they really kind of hesitate and just let you make the move and everything, because they don't want you activating your effects during their turn. So this card is it's a seriously dangerous card, and it commands lots and lots of field presence. Same thing with Najasho. Najasho is probably the second most important monster in the deck, simply because you combo off of him. He's pretty much like the equivalent of Dragonfly Hornet in relative terms of explosiveness for the deck. There's so many combo plays that you can do with this monster, and we'll get into those when we get to the spell and trap lineup. Of course, 2 effect failures. That's pretty much mandatory, if not 3, in the current meta. So, on to spells. 3 Evo-Force, again, that's standard. 3 Evo-Diversities. This card by itself is making the deck incredibly consistent. It's pretty much like it sets you up for your Najasho plays, your Westlo plays. It sets you up for any exceed plays that you possibly want to make. And, I mean, it pretty much does the exact same thing that E-Call or Glider's Proving Ground or Simple Rhoda does for any other deck that, needs those search cards. Diversity does the exact same thing. One of the techs that I'm working with in this deck is Mini Guts. Mini Guts is a seriously nasty card, especially when you combo it with Evoltile Najasho. So let me read off what Mini Guts does. So, tribute 1 monster to target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0 until the end phase. This turn, when it is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster in the graveyard. Okay, so what you're doing is, this card's relatively a minus for anything but this deck, because you're tributing Najasho for its cost. Najasho will then activate, which allows you to get an instant monster on board with their 0 attack monster. So let's put it into a simple perspective. Let's say your opponent has a Thunder King Ryo, 1900 attack. You set Najasho, and then you play Mini Guts. Their Thunder King then becomes a 0. So, Najasho's effect will then activate special summoning Evolsaur from your deck. Now, depending on what your scenario is, you can special a Vulcano, and then get another Evolsaur from your graveyard, and then make a Laggia. Or you can simply come out and make a Cerato, or any other combo play that you can possibly make. So for this instance, let's say you make Vulcano, they have no response to its effect. You special another Evolsaur, and you make Laggia. So in this situation, you attack with a Laggia. They're going to take an instant 2,400 because their monster's attack is 0. When that monster is then in the graveyard, they're going to take the additional attack of what that monster was. So in this case of Thunder King, they're going to take an additional 19, which means in that situation they're going to be taking 4,500 damage, or 4,400 damage. Sorry, 4,300. 4,300. That's final answer. 4,300. Now, in one play, you're taking over half your opponent's life points, and that is just super nasty. I've been playtesting with this on DN, and this pretty much wins the game every single time, if not, pretty much nails the last nail into the coffin. So, 2 Duality, still very much needed. 2 MST, then on to 1 of's Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Pot of Avarice, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. On to traps real quick. 2 Solemn Warnings, 2 Fiendish Chains, 2 Compulse, and 1 Mirror Wall. Now, the reason I'm playing Mirror Wall is because this was teched in by Mr. Popo of Team Godlike. If you surf around YugiTube, you know exactly who I'm talking about. It's pretty much he's the father of the modern Evolsaur deck. He's the only guy that's topped with Evolsaurs at a YCS, which was at Atlanta. So, he brought up a really good point with Mirror Wall, that one of the big things that Evolsaurs have problems with is big beaters. So like their Nova Masters and BLSs, shit like that. So let's say you have a monster on your side of the field. Let's say you have a special summon Cerato, and your opponent has a Shining on board. So your opponent attacks with a Shining, you go damage step, activate Mirror Wall. What Mirror Wall is half that monster's attack. So that Shining's attack is then halved, which probably means your Cerato is going to kill it, which means you're going to get a search for that Cerato. And the only cost for this is pay 2,000 during your standby phase, which you can do that because, like I said, Evolsaurs have problems with big beaters. But this also enables you to make Utopia Ray plays, which again are game-winning plays that Evolsaurs take heavy advantage on. Onto extra deck. 2 Laggia, 2 Dolkka, 1 Solda. Solda is like a very underestimated monster. If you can get this guy out turn 1, he instantly controls the field, and like unless your opponent has a bounce card or something to beat over this that isn't special summoned, then there's nothing that they can do about this guy. This guy's just, he's amazing right now. Then Utopia Ray, Utopia. I'm placeholding a Photon Papilloperative, or whatever it's called. I think I'm going to put in a Symphony Conductor Maestroke, because that card is really good. Wind up Zenmaines, Zenmaister for the loop, Arsenal, Zenmaioh, Leviair, and Acid Golem. These 2 are taking place as well. I think Catastrophe is going to stay in, but I'm waiting to get a Terrace, and that will take the place of the Black Rose. So, yeah, this is the updated. Again, this is work in progress. I'm still testing with this, but I'm having very good results with it. So, comment, like, and subscribe, everyone. This is Vulture85. Over and out.